Hello, and welcome back to your very own side quest. This week, we are discussing some food for thought questions directed at players. But if you find yourself in the DM's chair, fret not. You should still listen because this could help your game. Okay, it could help your very own game. And also give you some questions to ask your own players. So, stick around. I promise it's not just for players. This isn't a players-only zone. You know, there's a couple DMs here. You know, they could be anywhere. Everyone has the capacity. You remember that.
They could be hiding under your bed. You never know.
You do not want that.
I will be hiding under your bed. Be prepared.
That's a good song from The Lion King.
All I could think of is that commercial. Just be prepared.
Honey, that's The Lion King.
No,
That's The Lion
no, it's in a
King.
truck commercial.
What are you talking about?
Okay, now I'm gonna take.
I think you're just thinking of The Lion King.
Nope.
Because that's...
Anyway.
Who cares about the podcast? We're pulling up the commercial.
We care
now.
about Lion King.
I can't find it.
The Lion King's like... Cause it's not
Welcome to the Lion King quest.
I don't
where
like
we're
Lion
on an
King.
adventure to try and find who did it first, the Lion King or the truck commercial.
The Lion
What
King.
truck commercial?
Well, speaking of a truck commercial, I got a question for you guys. Okay.
You're
What do you
getting
guys
worse
think?
and worse.
Shut up. Shut up.
That's true.
What do you guys think the most difficult thing is to remember about your character? Now I'm talking like maybe your spells. You're like, I don't remember what this spell does. Your abilities. I don't remember what arcane recovery does. Or your personality traits. You know, you're like, oh, I was supposed to really hate that guy with the curly mustache because in my flaws it says I vomit when I see curly mustaches. You know, stuff like that. And I want to know the answer to it. And I want to jump over to Halia.
Okay. Sorry, what was the question again?
What?
She heard the vomit when seeing curly mustache,
Mustaches.
and like most of us, the entire sentence was lost.
Okay, what is the most difficult thing to remember
Okay.
about your character? Remember.
The question's asked.
Remember them.
Good question. Good question. What was that? What was that question again?
Stop! I'm gonna forget it again. The most. Shut up. I mean, I guess spells. I hate spells. Trying to remember them, so I just look them up. I don't
It's
remember them.
very ironic because you play a lot of casters. I noticed.
Well, yeah, because they do stuff, like interesting stuff.
Was that? I thought you were joking for a moment. I'd say Halia plays more non-casters.
I'd say-
I feel like
I've
recently
played-
it's been a lot of casters.
I think like it's like a
Yeah, I think
60-40 mix, right? 60% of our characters I feel like are
Like,
casters. The other 40%
Evelyn-
are fighters.
Evelyn Toriel, Toriel,
Kiri.
Esmeralda.
Esmeralda.
Then he had like Karis, Samantha.
Are we going through every character?
No,
Oh my god, we're gonna be here all day.
the same. It's like a 60-40 mix, I think.
Grandpa!
No, we need to get you the spell cards so you can have on hand.
I want them so
Right there.
bad.
Or
Not
print you
even
out a
just
cheat
because
sheet.
Not just because I'm really stupid, but just because they're cute.
They are pretty cute. They are
There's a
pretty
little
cute.
book thing you put them in. Come on now.
Yeah, like a little Pokemon binder for your spells.
It's just like Pokemon.
It's just like Pokemon. Speaking of just like
What's-
Pokemon, we'll hop over.
What's funny is that even when you're not playing casters, you still forget abilities. Like I noticed when we're playing Vecna, you keep forgetting about sneak attack, and you're a rogue. How
Yeah,
do you forget about sneak
every
attack?
every round is like, don't forget sneak attack.
No one?
There's so
I'm
many
gonna be
requirements
your
for
bed tonight.
sneak attack, though. It's hard to remember them
There's
all.
two.
Because I did the
There's
same.
two.
There's
It's
two.
two.
Well,
I haven't
Either
played
you
a
had-
rogue since Malako.
Either you have advantage, or there's an ally within 5 feet of the enemy.
Bro, it's been 3 years.
Well,
I haven't played a rogue since Malako.
It's a
Settle
lot of
down.
stuff to remember.
It's so
Okay.
much to remember.
No, because of what Alyssa said. She's like, listen, there's a lot of requirements. There's 2. And there's, in fact, you know what? There's 3. You don't have disadvantage. There's 3 requirements.
That's 3 too many.
I only
Play a
have
swashbuckler.
room for 2 things in my brain.
Smooth
Okay.
brain.
That's a lot of things to manage. Plus
Well-
trying to hit your attack, plus what you have to add. It's a lot, okay?
Every round a
Man, learn
failed
to do
encyclopedia
math.
check.
It's a lot, okay? God.
Speaking of, I'm just gonna backtrack. Speaking of, I don't even know. Jump over to Alyssa. I was trying to find something to latch onto. I couldn't. So
Damn. Everything. Like,
how is blood
I-
playing?
I forget, like, abilities, like, class abilities a lot. Especially right now, because my main 2 characters in D&D are multi-classes. So I have 2 sets of features to go through and try to remember.
That's
Like, I don't think I've used a sorcerer feature at all with Emmy. I forget she's a sorcerer sometimes.
Have you casted any magic except for Inkling Thoughts?
Magic
Yes, I
missiles.
have.
Okay. I don't remember.
Magic
So-
missile.
Magic missile.
But that's
Magic
Eldritch Knight.
missile.
Oh.
I promise I have spells as a sorcerer. which
Yeah,
is-
you think you would learn how to play one class before multi-classing?
To be
Well,
fair, I'll say this.
I
to
know
be-
sorcerer really well. It's
We just
just
throw a bit
it's
of
just Emmy's
shade.
more of a fighter that I'm mostly in melee anyway, so I'm not worrying
Listen.
about it. But also I just forget.
I'll say to be
Emmy's a
fair.
fighter, not a lover.
Any fighter
Real.
supremacists out there, fighter's super simple. It's you could chalk a 20th level fighter onto a 20th level wizard, and it would probably take you 5 extra minutes to add the fighter stuff. So
Well, at least Eldritch Knight has a bit of complexity to it.
Eldritch Knight does have the additional spells.
Try that with a sorcerer. It's too many spells to manage.
Yeah.
It's too much. And I definitely shot myself in the foot, but
How many spells
Also-
total do you have as Emmy?
I don't fucking know. I could pull it up if we really care,
No,
but
I was just curious.
Was
she-
it you? Go on.
I don't even know what I was going to say.
She.
She.
That's
it's
it, I
gone.
guess.
It's gone. It's gone.
Was it you who decided to multi-class, or was that the DM?
It was the DM.
Oh, so it's
Well,
not really-
okay, so
Did you
Jonas
watch
wanted
it?
me.
Do that?
Jonas wanted me to do full sorcerer when I came back, and I said, "Can we compromise and do a multi-class?" And he
Dude was
said,
so
"Okay."
scared of the double dual wielding.
Why-
For those who don't know, Emmy
Probably.
can dual wield heavy weapons.
Real.
Why did he want you to go full sorcerer while previously being a fighter?
Because my soul. Fun fact: when Emmy was a actual human, she was a sorcerer, and that's where her powers came from.
Oh.
That's shit we didn't know.
I'm pretty sure we did know this, but
We knew you were a Nixian, and a lot of Nixians are sorcerers. Yep.
You're Nixian?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sabbath, yeah. So that's actually a
Sabbath's
funny thing.
also.
Yeah, is that you were Nixian, so was Sabbath, and Jonas was like, you know what? You're both Nixian. It's just both of you take the metamagic feat. And I was like, okay. I haven't used metamagic.
For the
once.
audience, Nixian is a made-up race in Jonas's campaign. They're like desert folk.
Yep.
They are desert folk.
Yep. A lot of them have purple eyes because of a big spell plague. So if we can manage to
Emmy had
wrangle
blue.
Jonas on here, he can explain it for you.
Emmy had blue eyes, which I feel like was a thing that they used to have, but I'm not sure. My lore could be confuzzled.
I got no clue.
I have no idea.
All I
don't
know is that they all got infected with Origin. They got purple eyes, and then they moved on. Yeah. If we can manage to get Jonas on, he'll explain all this to you, and it'll be very interesting, because it's very interesting. But for now,
Maybe.
you just gotta go,
Maybe
what the
one
fuck's
day.
Origin? What the fuck's a Spell Plague? What the fuck's a Nixian?
Real.
But yeah.
But yeah, I think class features are the most common thing that I forget about.
No, you're true.
Because, yeah.
Oh, and like accents for me sometimes.
That's fair.
Oh, bitch.
Well, let's hop over to Evan.
Sticking with the vibes I give off with characters. Like, main example, I've talked about him a lot. Hugo. He's very socially anxious, but yet will always find his way in the middle of a fight. And recently, it's been a lot of trying to get back into that. But before our long break, I would say that I wasn't so socially anxious with him.
Mm-hmm.
And so just sticking to that character's problems.
Yeah, the personality traits of it.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is not a... It is probably the most common thing to forget about. Because sometimes you forget that you're playing a character, not like a game. You know? I mean, you are playing a game, but first and foremost, you're trying to get into a character.
You're playing a character in a game.
You play a character in a game.
Game character.
Yeah. This is something
Character game.
that you at home should watch out for. If you're playing a role-play heavy session like we are, we're not really playing it like a strategy game or whatnot. Remain vigilant. Catch yourself when you slip up on like, oh, that's not what my character would do. And I'm not saying stick to exactly what your character would do. Like if you think, oh, my character would betray the part, try not to do that. Never ends
Don't do
well for
that.
you. Because
Or maybe it doesn't end well for the rest of your party, which would be great for your character.
to be fair,
It
though,
wouldn't be great for the group.
exactly.
No. No.
Everyone's job at the table is to improve everyone else's experience. And I think that is a first and foremost thing is that everyone's having fun. And if your character's goals compromise that fun, I'm not saying don't go for them, but find a way to make it fun for everyone else, Don't make it just a clean sweep. Give them a chance. Or if you don't give them a chance, hell, post about it in the comments. I want to read that merciless shit. I'm on that devious type shit. I want to hear about it. And speaking of on that devious type shit, Noah, I want to hear from you. What's your answer to this question?
I'm pretty good at remembering things for the most part, especially spells and class
Noah's
features.
big brain.
Because those always... Yeah, I mean, when it comes to D&D, I've been playing it for a while, and when I play a character, those things tend to stick with me, even when I'm done playing that character. So, I played one monk probably 8 years ago, and I still remember most of the monk stuff, especially like patient defense, step of the wind, and flurry of blows, all that stuff. I'd say sometimes I can forget personality traits of my character and play them differently, I would say. And I would say it's less forgetting about those personality traits and more having a bit of me, Noah, bleed into that character.
Mhm.
Sometimes, like,
Yeah.
for example, I had a character called Elzareth, a wizard, and one of his things was if a fight was going to look bad, he would leave. And a big moment that happened was these strange elves came out of the sky, way more powerful than Elzareth ever was, and Elzareth sacrificed himself for the party, so that these astral elves wouldn't decimate the boat they were on. In reality, Elzareth probably should have ran and just dove in the sea and swam away. But I was like, this seems fitting a moment. This seems very movie-like, so I'm gonna have Elzareth do this. But a part of me was like, no, you should have just left.
You should have just done that. That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're true. You're true. See, moments like that that's because it's not like we'd necessarily just be dead. We would just our boat would be gone,
Be under attack.
and
That's
we'd have
not good for
We'd have to escape.
the metal robot who's scared of water.
You're all good. It takes years for us to set in. At least months. As long as we dry you off after you'll be
Yeah,
fine.
I don't think she'd be a good swimmer. Is the point here?
She can walk.
She would sink like
Yeah,
a
she-
fucking
sink.
anchor.
She can walk
I can walk.
on the bottom of the
under
the
water.
bay
It'll be
because
like
we were
the-
down by the bay.
It would be like the
How
skeletons
deep is
in
that
Pirates of
sea,
the
bro?
Caribbean.
That we were in the bay area. Like we weren't that far out of the coast.
Either way, it would
Even
not
though
have
she
been
doesn't
good
have
for
to
the party.
breathe, she still doesn't know how to swim.
It wouldn't have been good for the party, but it would have been really interesting to see that.
Yeah. Also, Elzareth has to meet up with the group again eventually, or I'm just playing a new character, and then he's got to explain why he just ran away, and it would have led to some great character interactions, but I feel like it would be a moment in like a Telltale game where it was like the entire party will remember that. I didn't want that. And
see-
as Noah, I'm more of a self-sacrificial kind of guy.
Yeah, see, that's where it's like, you going away, the party won't even know. You know, they won't remember that.
Who
They
was
will.
Osiris?
Well, I
You
mean,
ran? What the
if
hell?
he-
Bro, you
No, I mean,
left
where
us?
did
He's
Elzareth
asking, like,
go?
oh.
I'm saying the what you chose is like, we were just like, I guess you ran away. It wasn't like, we'll remember that. It was just, oh, he left. Like, we didn't know what happened. With you running, at least we'd be like,
But yeah,
what the hell?
like,
And then I'm sure you could come up with a reasonable enough excuse for us to be like,
yeah,
okay.
deception and insight checks could commence.
Could it just be the truth?
Yeah, that's just it probably would have been better for the story, but sometimes I forget that my characters
Have some-
should play differently.
I have the exact same problem. I think I'm really good at remembering spells, abilities, personality traits. I let myself bleed in. You know, I'm like, mainly because I like to think I like see something, I notice something that my character's in the room for, obviously, and I'm like, that is bad, and I'm like, I forget. Sabbath does not catch on to stuff like that, you know. So when stuff like that goes down, and then Sabbath is like, we should do something about that. I'm like, would he have even noticed? Would he even care? Like, even if he did notice, why the fuck does he care? There's a couple moments where I'm like, that makes sense, but I have
I
the
feel
kind
like
of the
it's
same
really
problem.
easy. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying I have the same kind of problem.
Yeah, I feel like it's really easy to let yourself bleed into characters.
hmm
Whether it's like a sliver or a lot.
Yeah, I think
A
most.
lot being Lauren Brown.
Yeah, I definitely think most of the time I'm pretty faithful to my characters, but there is moments where I catch myself leaking. I'm gonna take a quick intermission to say thank you, Michael, for trying to catch up on all of the podcast episodes. And I was
You
reading
say
those.
something sussy, and then you immediately like.
Don't make Michael your scapegoat.
I'm not,
No,
Michael.
no.
I was up late one night and I noticed that you're commenting, and I just want to say I really appreciate it. Sorry I didn't catch it earlier. You know, there's a lot that we got to keep up with. You know, but thank you very much for trying to catch up. Take your time. Enjoy these. Enjoy the weird
We're
shit
not
we
going
say.
anywhere.
We are not going anywhere. We're stuck in these rooms with the same backdrops.
I haven't left this room in months.
No, I've tried to get in and I can't.
I don't even know what room that is.
Ryan hasn't.
The editor should bleep that out so it's
Oh.
just like.
Just a
We don't
It's
know
gonna
where
be.
Howard
It's gonna
is.
be. That's the. Ryan hasn't.
It's just an
Ryan
oubliette.
hasn't in weeks.
The oubliette. Oh my god.
It's an
It's a
oubliette.
nice oubliette.
For anybody
Wow.
curious, we're all stuck in a
She's in the
large
mirror room.
labyrinth. Someone cast maze on us years ago, and we just cannot succeed the intelligence check.
Yeah.
There's a
I'm so
Minotaur
sorry,
constantly
Johnny.
chasing us, and we're scared.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Oh,
scared.
I was thinking of Jim Henson's Labyrinth.
Speaking of Jim Henson's Labyrinth, what kind of quest do you want to see more of? You know, and also just as an addition to that question, do you think there's any kind of quest that you think you like excel at necessarily? Like ones that you're like, oh, I got this. Like this is based. And just for examples, you know, stealth mission, some kind of heist, you know, some kind of, you know, sneaky, or do you just like killing stuff? You know, just go there and kill that dude or thing or dragon or blah 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 blah. The classic 90% of D&D quests are, you know. And we'll start off with we'll go backwards order. Noah.
Big mistake, buddy. What kind of quests do I want to see more of? Honestly, just like quests given by like a king or some big regal figure that hardly or like go rescue a princess, go rescue somebody. That hardly ever happens in our D&D games. It's always like there's a big threat looming on the horizon. You have 10 months to deal with it. What are you doing?
Not even.
Real.
We have like it's.
You have
no
2
time
weeks
limit.
to deal with the end of the world. How are you doing it?
No time limit, but we make it seem like we do.
Yeah.
Or it's like some homeless-looking guy, and he's like, "You must help me. There's a robot."
Turns out he's the BBEG the
There's a
entire
robot.
time.
I was lying. He tears off his fucking clothes, and he's a robot underneath.
What?
What I'm saying
Don't
is,
worry
a
about
lot of the times we get quests, it is not from anyone regal. It is just from some
No.
random ass dude that's like, "Oh yeah, this guy's
Yeah.
actually super important." I'm like, how have I never heard of them?
Sweetie, could you help me cross the street?
I'll punt you, Grandma.
But a continuation onto that.
Huh?
Noah, I'm talking. I'm saying, do you have anything to continue on with that?
Nope. I think that's about it. As for like quests, I think I could be good at. I like solving mysteries. That's fun. Been playing some detective games recently. Not very good at them, but I think they're fun to solve.
No, you're true. You're true. I didn't realize
Thank you.
I didn't realize how bad at solving mysteries I was until I played Disco Elysium. And then I
Yeah.
wandered around for
Thank God I
literally
got
6
voices in my
hours.
head to help me.
Backwards order, we're going up
Voices.
to Evan.
I'd like to see a little bit more.
Go on.
What?
Go on.
Silent Joe's
Go on. Go on.
I just
Go
look
on.
down and I see Ryan be like,
That's what you're doing.
Evan.exe stopped working.
Yeah. What about you, Evan?
Enters thinking position.
Plus two
I'd
to
like to
logic.
see more reconnaissance missions.
That was a big
Good
word.
type.
Recon. Scout.
Like gathering
Oh,
gathering
understood.
information.
Thanks.
You know,
Yeah.
I
Thank you for
100%
Spies.
I agree, Evan. It would be wonderful to have this kind of intel so that going forward you can make a plan instead of just going.
Which we never
Yeah.
do.
We just light our balls on fire and charge
Speak
in.
for yourself, buddy. When I'm playing a smart character and I got a wizard, that fucking my little flying familiar is always going in first. Or if I'm a druid, I'm going in as a spider. I'm learning. The issue with that is that it's not very fun for everybody else. When you're just like, I send my bird in. Okay, what's in the next room? Okay, what's in the next room? Okay, what's in the next room? Everybody else is like,
I mean,
just sitting down doing nothing.
I'm so fine with it if we're like, here's how we're gonna tackle it. But after that, we're like, okay, let's just go in. You know, I
don't
like
care, 'cause
like
just a moment of like role play to be like, here's how we should handle it. Here's our skill sets. Let's move on from there. We're just like, okay.
not sure if this episode's out yet, but for Vecna, I liked how we all ended up actually coming up with a plan to turn my character invisible, have me wild shape into a spider, and then teleport into the cage, and then teleport the guy that's in the cage out of the cage.
oh yeah, that was cool, and then it kind of mucked up, but
It worked.
still,
it did what it had to do.
it did work.
It
But then it happened. So
We don't talk about the incident.
no.
Never.
Let's just say there was a bunny covered in blood.
It's a
What?
reference for the ages. That no one will understand, but like us.
I don't.
Murder?
Oh,
Shout out to Bonbon.
We didn't talk
Shout
about
out to
that.
Bon Bon.
Well, let's jump over to Alyssa. Speaking of Bonbon.
I don't know. I'm kind of a follower when it comes to most D&D, unless I get shoved into a leader position, then it's like shit.
Gotta get you a shirt that says, I'm the sheeple.
What?
No.
Sheeple.
sheeple?
Wake up, sheeple.
What does that mean?
There is a tribe
fail.
pulling the strings on the wizard economy.
What are you
What
talking
are you
about?
talking about?
Worms rule the earth.
You're a follower. You're a sheeple. You need to wake
We're
up.
nothing but puppets on a string.
I was abducted 2 weeks ago. I saw them.
Is this a meme?
I'm beaming it up. I think it is a meme, yeah.
Okay, I
I'm just
was
being
like,
stupid.
Well, to bring us back on topic, I think, going back to what Evan said, reconnaissance missions are great. And a mission that I don't think we've ever done before is a mission where you don't want to fight at all. Like, fighting will murder you, and you're trying to be extremely stealthy. And if you fail stealth, you most likely die. I don't think we've ever had something like that, where stealth is so pertinent.
Nope.
I don't think to
You wanna know
that
why?
crazy of an extent.
It's because usually the full party wants to go, but not everybody in the party is stealthy. And they're like, well, I need to be there in case something does go wrong. So stealth is just not an option. And also, as DMs, I'm sure you're afraid of TPK. I'm not. I just haven't thought of doing a mission like that because I'm stupid.
Well, it's like a mission where maybe you do break stealth. The goal is not then to fight. The goal is to run or hide.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think that'd be cool. You know, there's
Metal
a lot
Gear
of
Solid.
a lot
But you
of
have to be very upfront with your players. You have to just basically, as a DM, be like, "You're gonna fucking die if you fight this guy. You look at me, look at me. No fighting. No.
Nuh-uh.
no save, no
And even
death,
then, I'd be like,
just death.
I smite him.
I feel like
me when the aura.
this is spoiler, so editors, you can bleep it out if you want to. But I feel like that's kind of happening in Vecna right now, where we were told to not go in guns a-blazing, then we went in guns a-blazing, and then we almost died because of it.
But it worked. Well, we
did
didn't.
really?
Yeah. Here's what we needed to do in Vecna, because spoilers. I'm just gonna talk about a brief moment. We are infiltrating a cult. Ooh. And we opened a door, and there was a person summoning something. And I think Ryan made it very clear that we needed to interrupt this summon. But we didn't. So the person summoned something, and then we were like, okay, let's interrupt her.
It's not
I
that-
feel like
Okay,
there was we had to interrupt her, but then we had to kill her quick enough for nobody else to wake up and realize that we were here. Because if we just let her summon it, I'm assuming something like the thing that would have happened, and we would have been spotted no matter what. So I think we had to fight it.
I wanted to immediately attack her, but this happened the last time when the party almost got obliterated. It was my fault because I attacked first without saying anything. So I was like,
I disagree heavily.
I'll say
don't wanna do
this.
that again.
We
So
were,
I'll just wait
we're talking
for someone else to do something.
about infiltration and stealth. You didn't even have to interrupt her. You could have just walked by her. She would have been like, okay.
Yeah, that's
Why would
what.
we want that big thing to potentially be another thing we had to fight?
Infiltrate? You pretend you're part
Yeah,
of it.
act like a cult member.
How
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw it was that we were going in trying to be as, at least from what we were told, trying to be as stealthy as possible, get the thing and get out.
Yeah.
And
I made in
So
the book it's
so
like
yeah,
make them-
when that thing happened, I was like, okay, this is probably not a big deal right now because I don't think our goal here is to be killing things.
no.
That's how I
but
viewed it, at
also,
Yeah.
It's
there's
also fun.
Definitely I there's definitely some things that I feel like I could have made a little bit more clear. Because the book makes it very clear, if you just charge in, you're probably just gonna die. And it's like, here's some ways that you can do it. And I feel like as a DM, I should have been very much more just table talking it. Like, you guys pretty much have two options. But I decided to play it in character, and maybe it made it a little bit less sincere. But yeah. You
I
guys
believed
handled
you.
it regardless. And hopefully we'll handle it next session. Yippee!
it's also
Yeah.
really funny though, because for Vecna, I'm playing mainly a rogue mixed with some warlock. I'm a mastermind rogue.
Correct.
Should not have played a mastermind rogue. But, lessons.
You'll find out in the coming episodes of Vecna. It's really funny.
There should be one out right now.
Yeah, you should check it out.
From last Friday.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Real.
Speaking of real, I don't know if you had anything else to say, Alyssa. But...
No. I don't know. Is my answer to the question.
Then we'll hop over to Halia. You're the last one that hasn't answered other than me.
You're right.
And editor, bleep everyone else says something after me. It's just like gym class.
You good?
Fuck you guys. Yeah, we're good.
I think I want to see. I think I've said this like 5 million times before in the podcast, but I want to see more things like Lord of the Rings, where like classic adventures. You're fighting orcs, goblins, just like classic stuff. I don't know. I think it's a lot of fun. So. What?
I don't know. I just saw Noah go.
What do you mean by classic?
Lord of the Rings. That's a classic movie, classic adventure.
But like, what kind of what would they be doing in this classic adventure?
I don't know. I'm not the DM.
I'm at because you're
Become the DM, Halia.
What are you coming at me for? This boy has asked questions, and you said you want to do a classic adventure. What does that entail? What are you talking about? Classic adventure?
I have
What
an
is
Lord of the
idea.
Rings. I just said it.
So you
I have
want
an
to play
idea.
Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's classic D&D for you. You go in a dungeon
You
and you
fight
find a
dragon.
dragon.
Hold on.
But that's not
It's
Lord of the Rings.
plurals.
That's the Hobbit.
2 dragons.
Well, I haven't seen either of them, so I
No.
don't know.
Yeah.
But that's
it's
classic
two
D&D. It's in the name.
No, it's
in the
dungeons.
name.
Oh yeah, no. You go into 2 dungeons, and in each of them there is 2
A-
dragons.
4
Plural
dragons
amount
in
of Dungeons
total?
and Dragons.
True.
Maybe it's
There should
2,
be more,
maybe
like-
it's 10. Or 10
Editor,
million.
this whole time, can you
or
slowly rotate
gazillion.
my webcam, like from the start to the very end? I just want it to be slowly rotating. Thank you.
Why?
It's a good point.
You spin
We need to
me
have-
Editor,
around.
could you make mine rotate the opposite direction, same speed?
Where are you guys spinning?
We need to have an adventure where like there's a dragon attack and we gotta go save the village from a dragon.
Yeah.
It's true.
Because like in D&D, I think anyway, dragons aren't very.
Common.
Prevalent?
They're not prevalent in
No.
it at
No.
all. And it's really funny because when we do see a dragon, I'm like, oh, it's a dragon.
I
I'm not like, oh fuck.
When you do
It's like,
see,
"That's a dragon."
I hate dragons in D&D. They are so weak, it's unfunny. You want to know
No,
what
they're
I
not.
hate? No, You want to know what I hate? I hate that there's weapons specifically made for killing dragons, but you can just... I don't even... It makes me mad. It makes me mad that normal weapons can just
I
pierce
think-
the
If dragons
hide.
play,
I'm
if you're
offended.
playing a
I-
dragon right, like they're fucking hard to beat,
What I'm
dude.
saying,
I
like,
think-
think of Lord of the Rings. The black arrows they fire atop the towers in Lake Town, okay? They fire the fucking arrows. They're the only things that can hurt the dragons, okay? And then in D&D,
Yeah, but you're esteemed adventurers with you already have magical items.
who
You're way more
cares?
powerful. You're way more powerful than some lowly common folk. Imagine if you got up to a boss and you couldn't hurt it. You know, awful that would
Yeah,
This
feel.
is why.
Okay.
This is why
Honey,
there's a
honey,
quest leading
honey.
up to it. Dragons are not just like an enemy you throw
You
in
know
there
what?
with
I
no
kind of-
thought.
I kind of agree.
Dragons are the fucking like a pinnacle. They are
aggressive.
named. They are
Yeah.
intelligent. They of course there should be a quest leading up to a dragon, and it's not just plopped in there. And it feels like there's
You know what?
Pointless.
I totally agree with you, but
Dragon
the way that
these
you
balls
speak
on
makes
your
me
face.
want to disagree.
I agree with that.
You're
I agree
so
with what you're
right.
saying.
But no.
No.
Real, Noah. That's real.
I like
Sorry, I'm just
dragons
passionate
when they're
about
your
this.
companions.
That's true.
No, that's pretty cool.
That'd be hard to do
I
though,
know,
because
just
they're so
like-
Yeah,
powerful.
they're so strong.
I don't
Just
know, I
summon
just
your
thought it
own
was
dragon.
fun. And like
I did
having
that.
a dragon, that's. I
Maybe
don't know,
like
I think
twice,
it'd
but
be
I
cool.
did it.
See, the thing with dragons are they're not like animals. They're actually intelligent, and you're not keeping people as pets.
You're not. But Gith, it'd be more like a bond, like a relationship kind of thing.
Well, I don't know if is actually like in. I guess it might be forgotten from the store, but Lazelle's like Tiamat gifted us the red dragons.
Yeah.
So they were like
Yeah.
gifts to the gift.
Huh.
So
Uh-huh.
I think they're servants to the gift, which is
yeah, which is really funny because the gift like I don't want to be a servant. Meanwhile,
or they're just friends. I don't know how it works.
Hypogithical.
What?
Like hypocritical. Just move on. Editor,
Oh.
mute that. Skip the
don't
part.
do that. Don't do
Okay,
that.
okay.
Fast forward.
That went
Fast
hard.
forward to this joke. They were gifts from Tiamat.
I think Halia said that.
Editor,
What?
keep
No, she said
it
gifts.
all in.
Gifts.
Keep it all
No, I said
Give it all
gifts from
Yeah,
Tiamat to
that was
the
a
gift.
joke. What's the next
And then I was
question?
like, haha.
Oh man.
Evan's
I haven't
gone, by the
answered
way.
it, but I just repeat everything you guys say. Editor, I keep asking put the super glue on his chair before we start, please. You know what he does.
Oh.
You know he walks away. He goes and gets the crush.
You got an orange crush? Dude, you can't like eat or drink during a podcast. It's really unprofessional.
That is so messed up. That is so fucking messed up, dude.
Are you just eating a plate of mashed potatoes? Because I love that.
I was gonna say, you're judging?
No, I
Ryan.
can't eat during this podcast because somebody got mad. Ryan. So
There's
I
like
can't
two
yet.
things.
But for some reason, everyone else
There's
can.
two things that I hate hearing about from the
No, I
editor,
don't wanna
and that's the table banging, and the sounds.
Then mute me.
Don't bring it up with me. All right. Speaking of me, I want you to all think about yourselves for a second. Close your eyes. Everyone close your eyes. We're doing a little exercise. Okay, close your eyes.
Editor, paint the scene.
There is no scene to be painted. Hold your hands up like this, like you're in a meditative pose.
But like what? I close
I-
my eyes.
Like, do the okay signs. Do the two okay signs. Like, hold them up next to your head. Yeah, like that. Think of yourself.
In front of your head?
No, like beside it. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Come on,
I want you
monkey.
to think of yourself. Think of all the good things about yourself. Ew.
There are none.
The list is pretty
Pretty
low. List is pretty low. And now think of all the bad things about yourself. Oh, what the hell? Now here's where the next question comes in. Do you think there's anything you could do as a player to improve the game for yourself and everyone else? I know
Can open
Junior
my eyes now.
could use a little lesson, and
Coat my eyes now.
you can open your eyes
Can I-
now.
Okay.
But yeah, do you guys think there's anything you could do to improve the game for yourself and everyone else? No, I'm talking be more in character. Maybe you take a little step out of the spotlight. I'm a little bit of an attention whore. I kind of, I love yapping. You know me, I love yapping. Or even just taking on a different role. You find yourself playing damage a lot. Why don't you play a support class, Play like an abjuration wizard. You just cast buffs on people. Or play a life domain cleric and just heal. Just taking on a different role, so it opens up the spotlight for somebody else. And it comes with its own spotlight. A lot of the MVPs of combat come from people like casting haste, or slow on the enemies, or just healing a trillion health. It's crazy. And we'll start off with Alyssa.
Big mistake there, buddy.
Yeah.
I love doing
big,
this.
Big mistake.
Can we get an compilation?
Counter?
An compilation for the end of the year?
Yeah.
From every video, that'd be fantastic.
That would be a lot of ums.
Are we doing? Would it be specifically Alyssa's ums or
Just
everyone?
Alyssa's thumbs.
Honestly, just
me.
ums. I feel like everyone goes when I ask them to start
Ooh,
us
and then
off.
we could like see who ummed the most.
An counter.
Um,
An counter, I'm telling you.
Anyway.
what was the question?
Okay.
What is the question?
Do you think there's anything you could do as a player to improve the game for yourself or everyone else? That's not how grammar works.
I can't. It's a tick. I can't.
Um,
I think I could improve by speaking
you're-
more.
You're answering an essay question.
I'm trying to
on PQAO or
resist
something.
saying. I'm trying to resist saying.
I think.
the word.
Therefore, I am.
I almost said it again. It's like a tick. I swear. I think I'm actively trying not to say but it's not working.
You're diverting too much brain power. Think about the question.
Editor, put
I can
the
see the
hamster
smoke.
back
I
on
hear
the
the
wheel.
smoke.
Yeah, put the hamster.
No,
back
I
on
shouldn't be
the
doing
wheel.
it. Get the water. Someone get some water.
Oh my god.
The crush will do it.
I think talking. I need to talk more. I need to use my vocal cords. I also don't need to play something that does a lot of damage a lot. Like, I need to play more support characters. I'm kind of doing that. No, I'm not. Kind of a little bit. I don't fucking know. Half and half. I haven't gone full support yet. I played a cleric once, and I didn't like it. So... But I think it would be interesting to try again. And yeah, I need to talk more as well.
You're true. You're very true.
Thanks.
Is there anything else? Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Ryan immediately grabs his microphone and puts it up to his webcam.
Everyone
like
listening
he's
at
trying to
home
interview.
cannot hear that fucking probably what just bursted everyone in the call's eardrums of me removing it from my shock mount.
Can we have a narrator for stupid shit?
I got you.
It was in that moment that he put the microphone back into his shock mount,
Like, you have
proceeding
do
to
some
deafen the
weird,
rest
like,
of us and make our ears bleed.
Well, I will piggyback up Alyssa's question, and I will just say it's
do
hard
it.
to talk a lot in D&D when we got these
That's
two
real.
fucking yapper mouths speaking on call, aka me and Ryan. I think most of the time,
Yeah, you guys
we,
really take lead. And Jonas does too.
Hmm.
But you
I thought-
guys know more than us, so it makes sense.
You're
Like,
also more confident
Of the D&D. Whoa.
in your
Of
D&D
D&D.
abilities.
Of the D&D.
Of the D&D.
Of the D&D.
So I think something that I can do, and I've been trying to do, is take a step back and let other people make some decisions. There are times when I do that, and we'll be planning out what to do, and it'll be just complete silence, which is the worst.
Yeah, especially when you have an idea already, but you're like, I'm gonna let other people come to a conclusion first.
Just say it. Like, oh my god.
Nah.
It's awful. Because when that happens, I'm like, are they waiting for Evan to say something, me, or Alyssa to say something?
All of them at once.
It's happening.
Everyone.
And it never does. So, it's just, yeah.
I feel like I'm getting better. The
You're
tiniest
talking
bit.
modest noir.
Tiny. Yeah, because everyone, literally last session, 3 separate people looked at me being like, so what's the plan? And I was like, well, shit, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I think that's
Well,
a very
shit,
important thing
guys.
to do. I've done it a couple times, definitely not as much as I should, but in character going, so what do you think? Or going up to a character and being like, I think you should do this, you're better at it than me. Pushing people into the spotlight.
I 100% agree with doing that. I guess I'm not, it's not like gym class. I'm getting picked next. I need to shut the fuck up. Simple as.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, literally. But I think one thing I
Editor,
have...
mute him for this.
Oh my god, the editor muted him in the call. That's crazy.
One
I
thing I
didn't
think
know
I've
his
been doing
powers were
better
that
at
grand.
is pushing other people in the spotlight. You know, the first bits of Vecna, whenever there's a door that needed to be lockpicked or something needed to be investigated, I was like, Morgana, can I help you with this?
Well, yeah, 'cause I'm
Morgana.
But what I'm saying is, like,
and I'm a
I
rogue.
know that you're better at it than me, so why do I want to go try and investigate or try to unlock this thing? You know, it's just,
Because you felt like it.
I don't want to. I want you to.
I don't want to.
I don't want to.
I mean, that's only a spotlight for opening a door.
You can make it a spectacle.
But
I
it's
like
using your abilities rather
One
than
thing-
not.
one thing DMs
But-
should do. Describe. I get not everyone knows how to lockpick a door, but just make some shit up that sounds cool. It'll make the rogue feel a lot cooler. You know, I love hearing people describe what you do. You know, oh, you're searching around the, I don't know, pins and mechanisms.
Oh, okay, Mr. I don't know how to make a bomb, Jonas.
I'm not saying ask them how they're gonna do it. I say describe how they're gonna how they're
Very
doing
funny
it.
out of context.
Because I think the editor muted it, so that is super funny. What I'm saying is like the editor describe it, not editor. The editor describe what they're doing. No,
You
the
have an
DM
editor on your
describing
mind, bro.
what you're doing when you're like lockpicking, or you're like, can I make a potion or something like that. Describing it a little bit makes it feel cooler. You know.
If you were to do that next campaign, I'm gonna look so stupid. I'm just gonna say I'm gonna pour this blue liquid into this purple
I'm not
one.
saying ask you what you're doing. I'm saying describing what you are doing. You don't have to do any work. You roll the check, and then I'm like, okay, you stick like your lockpicks in, and you're searching around the mechanisms and whatnot. Feel the first pin, the second, blah blah blah. Just describing what you're doing. As the DM, I'm saying. Okay.
Okay.
Anyways, I don't know if anybody else got that, but that's the end of my point. So we'll hop over to Halia.
Did I not answer already?
No.
Oh.
Hallie smiles mischievously.
What was the question again? How was it phrased?
Do you think there's anything you do as a player to improve the game for yourself and everyone else?
Oh. I don't know. I think I'm doing pretty okay. I'm assuming that doesn't hinder anyone else's play. Whatever I'm doing.
Actually, it really does. It really brings me
Oh.
down.
Well, I don't really care. So, that sucks.
Don't you dare get
And then
off that
sticks up the middle
chair.
finger at the camera.
Yeah.
Evan takes his headphones off.
You know, I don't think. I mean, I guess
Sticks them back
learn
on.
more about D&D. I guess that could be a help, but I can't do that. The brain's too small for that stuff.
You know what?
But it would help. It would help a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to look at you for a second. I was gonna make some anecdote about how even a rat can learn how to do a maze to get cheese, but then all I started thinking about was cheese. So
Is that what we're thinking about? We need to like reward Halia with cheese every time she remembers what sneak attack does.
Yes! Please!
Good job, Hallie. Here's some cheese.
Little cheese square.
oh my god, I know.
Oh
what
my
I'm
god!
I know what
we
I'm
have to
gonna
write
do.
you a note,
I know
like
what I'm
we
gonna
did with
do.
Spiritual
Yeah.
Weapon.
That's true.
This Saturday, I'm bringing a little baggie of cheese with me.
Bring me the fucking.
No, bring your trail
baby,
mix.
No, not big belt. Bring the
Laughing cow?
cow.
I'm bringing little tiny squares of cheese, so it's like just enough for you to,
Yeah, cut
just
those up.
enough for you to be like, but not enough for you to be like, I guess I don't need to
Oh,
do
it's
it.
not enough. It's not enough to be satisfied.
Yeah, it's enough to
Yeah.
keep you going. Because you're like, oh, I'm gonna get a bigger cheese
That's
next
cool.
time. But there's
Getting
that
Pavlov.
bigger cheese that never comes.
So fucking true. The sad part is it would probably work.
I'm gonna try it.
Which is really sad.
I'll bring
But-
cubes of cheese for you and Noah. I'll bring glasses of milk for Alyssa and
I
guitar
like
strings for Evan.
cheese. The fuck?
Damn, I get the expensive ones.
Full glasses of milk, huh?
Oh, Alyssa, you
I
remember
get
that
guitar
did?
strings.
Just a full like.
Yay!
Here you go.
Wait, can you bring grapes and cheese?
Nope.
Did you say that?
Just
I
cheese.
like cheese. The fuck? I don't just drink milk.
I would have laughed my
You
ass
are
off
a
if you
milk
reached
drinker.
down and grabbed a fucking glass of milk from your desk.
It's empty.
Oh my god.
Let's hold up an empty glass of milk.
Dude, we should go on Fiverr and pay somebody with like a nice narration voice to do that for us. Like just like 5 lines
But
per
it's just us
podcast.
arguing.
It's just
Can
like
we
as you
get
can see,
can we
there's
get
a comical
closed
fight going on.
can we get like closed
group
captions where it
narration.
just says like funny shit when we're like not talking?
Oh my god, like
The
a
closed
music
captions
video
are not even
slowly going
captions.
over.
The fucking editor slows down the bits where we're not talking, so it's like. And then
This
it's
is
like,
such moment.
as you can
He
see,
knew.
the frog-like
Yeah.
man Ryan opens his gills, takes a breath, and closes his mouth.
Gills and frogs in the same sentence.
Yeah, I'm a frog-like man, not a frog man.
You have gills?
Shut up.
What do you eat, the deep? Editor, flash the deep.
No! Not the
You said the
deep.
deep, and that's what.
What do you eat, the deep?
flashback-
Fine boom, fine boom.
Boom.
You want a fresco?
What is going on?
What's going on is Evan. Evan's about to answer this question.
And can you put a Freddy
Evan
Fazbear?
just went.
Can you put a Freddy Fazbear noise?
Or
Please.
Can you use those pictures for this episode's
Audio listeners are eating good tonight.
whatever it's called?
as you can see, Evan pushed his face close to the camera to point out a tail. It appeared that his eyes were appearing different directions. After which, Ryan broke down below his camera before mimicking the exact same face.
Sweet.
Now, Evan, would you
Thank
like to
you.
answer this question? You don't have to.
No.
Nothing's legally
I'm just
obligating you to.
What the fuck was with that? Like, mischievous eyebrow arch in a while.
Don't worry about me. What's the question, Evan?
I don't know. Noah, you tell me what the question was.
Oh my god! What the fuck is that?
That's
It
Ryan.
What
looks
are
like
you
the
doing?
Babadook. It looks like the Babadook.
No,
It definitely was Babadook. Duke.
Alright, what's the...
That looks like the
yeah, everyone?
Babadook. Audio listeners, there's a
It
photo
looks-
of me that looks like the
Dude,
Babadook.
that looks like the Babadook. It's like Jim
Answer
Fast.
the fucking question.
Oh my fucking god. Evan, please.
Answer the
I almost called
question.
you Nave.
Answer the question.
The one thing.
It's a pencil. It's a pen. It's a pen. It's a meme. You wouldn't.
No
get it.
one's having a stroke.
I think we're all having a stroke.
What was that? What was that fucking like Shrek looking up face? You just like. That you just risked the fuck out of the audience. Audio listeners,
made me forget
audio
the
listeners,
question!
Audio listeners, you just got rizzed.
Oh my.
You've been hit by, struck by. So to answer,
What was that?
Nothing.
to answer,
You didn't see
to
anything.
answer your question, what
Oh
the
my
question
God,
is:
answer the
do you think
question.
there's anything you could do as a player to improve the game for yourself and everyone else? Editor, put the count of how many times that question has been repeated.
Evan sticks
What do
up
you
two
mean?
middle
This is the
fingers
first
towards the
time.
camera.
This is the first time.
Then adds his index finger to it on his left hand.
Thing that I could do better, take notes and actually be able to answer proper questions and recount proper moments.
That's real.
Impossible challenge. There are times when I've taken notes, and like Jonas's last session, I had a note written down about like somebody's name or something, and I was like, we were talking to like this very important wizard person. I was like, have you heard of this name? And Jonas was like, I have no fucking clue what you're talking about. Like as a DM, he was like, what you've written down means nothing, and you are a sad, pathetic little man. He didn't say that, but that's what he meant.
Okay. No, he didn't.
I know. I'm
You
just
just
I'm
misheard
memeing.
him, or you just.
He's
you just
memeing.
felt it.
He's memeing on the players.
I know.
But on top of that, starting to actually be more creative in my thought process instead of just being like, I go to attack and pierce his armor. Like, just being more descriptive with my actions. Because obviously everyone can just picture their own ideas of what the fight scene looks like, but being able to describe how they see it so that everyone else sees it too in a similar way, that'd be something that I feel like I could work on.
True.
Fair enough.
I know that whenever I'm DMing, and not every time, but occasionally when somebody will cast a spell, I will be like, how do you cast this? And even when somebody just swings or attacks, I will try to put some flavor in it.
I know the last time that we were playing, and there was that huge fight that we were doing. By the end of it, I was like, we've been at this for 3 hours. I don't need to describe anything anymore. Let's kill them. Kill the things. Let's move on.
But also it's not just describing the attack itself, but also like doing more complex ideas for combat.
I thought of this too. That's hard to do because what could you do? You could like pick up
Interact
something
more
from
with
the
terrain.
ground. You could throw something on the ground. You could push people. But what's easier, figuring out something like that, or hitting somebody for like 3d8 damage? And what does more damage in the end? Hitting somebody. So there's really no reason to do it unless it's in your favor, which is hardly ever the case.
I'll say this. I think our problem is we don't really have, like, we do a battle map, but it doesn't really paint the scene correctly. I think as a DM, this is for the DMs out there. I know the title of this is Pour One Out for the players, but for the DMs out there, when you're designing combat and maybe you want to add some stronger enemies, but you're like the players aren't strong enough for this. Add environmental things that the players can use against them. You know, maybe they start out on a hill and the enemies are rushing up from the base of it, and there's a huge ass boulder on the hill that they could push. You know, maybe do something like that.
More improvised fighting.
What I'm saying is, like, there's tons of things you can do. You're in a dungeon. Maybe there's a big rock on a crane that they were, like, rebuilding a wall with, and you interrupt them in the middle of this, like, construction. You fucking shoot the rock down on top of them. So on and so forth. Oh my god.
The DM has
Editor, cut that out.
plan that beforehand before it comes up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not just a player thing. It's also just everybody. Everybody's in the rock there, and that we could work on.
That's the thing is, I think sometimes we get caught up. I get for like pre-mage, we really need to focus on like we need to be efficient with what we do. But I feel like in the homebrew campaigns that we play in, brutal efficiency can take away from the story, because when you were like a pre-made is there to fit both. There's roleplay and there's strategy, and homebrew, we're more focused on roleplay, so the combat's less important. It's more what comes after or what comes right before. So having these environmental things that might not be as efficient, they might not do the 3d8, but maybe, you know, they do like a d8 damage, and then they're covered in oil, and that sets something up that you could do on your next turn, or literally just like blocking off half the battlefield so they have to funnel around. Something that isn't efficient, but it feels cool, and it adds more storytelling and role-playing to this combat. I think stuff like that is important to add.
It's also a lot of like thinking on the DM's part, though, of like what's all there.
That's the thing.
And it's also the player, like, oh, what do I think is there?
Yeah,
so,
that's where I feel like as our group, we don't really have like battle tiles. We don't have the scene painted for combat and whatnot. It's really just like, here's a grid and that's where they are. I feel like obviously as we continue playing, we'll be able to stock up on battle tiles and whatnot. Maybe we could just spend like a weekend making them from foam and whatnot. I think that'd be super cool. So that when combat comes around, maybe the DM shows up 30 minutes early to wherever we're playing. They set up the combat scene, you know, and they have these little bits placed around that you can be like, oh, like on first observation, this is what you see, you know, describing the scene and then going forward with that. Right now, obviously, it's not very possible for us unless we drew it out with a marker, which doesn't really get the point across because it's not three-dimensional. It's not tangible. It's just there. It's afterthought. But I think as DMs, you should put as much thought into your encounters as you do with what's inside of them, you know? I'm sure, like, Noah can agree, when there's an encounter, you put a lot of thought into the enemy. You know, maybe if it's like a named NPC or something like that, put a lot of thought into them. But it's not like, it's not just this enemy needs to be defeated. It's the journey. Combat's also part of the journey. So laying out where they are is storytelling as well. And sure, it's extra work on the DM's part, but it's just as enjoyable to plan out. as the enemies are. You know?
But yeah, it's not something that players can improve on.
Yeah.
Although I do kind of disagree, because there are things a player could do. There are items a player could take that could improve their combat. Like as Elzyrith, I had like 30 oil vials that I used in numerous ways in combat to assist us. But I think the issue is it's up to the DM to reward that unique play.
Yeah.
And I think that doesn't happen often.
I 100% agree. I think there's tools at the player's disposal. That's what it's called. Tools at the player's disposal that they're not quite incentivized to use because they just do more damage otherwise. So, I think this bit was maybe more for the DMs, but I think as a player you can also put more unique thought into what you put into your kit, what you bring with you. You know, caltrops.
Yeah, that's the
ball bearings.
That's the thing. Yeah, there are a lot of items that nobody really even looks at, like bear traps, or rope, or chain, or locks.
Nets.
Like the first two that Ryan just said, I think I had both of those as Kara's.
Never use them.
Never.
Yeah, because
So
you had
like,
flesh carver.
This is stupid.
Alchemist fire. That stuff can burn in water. I want to point that out. That's what makes it so special, is that it floats on the water. So let's say that you have an aquatic enemy.
Oh, it's like an oil fire.
Kind of.
It's like napalm.
Yeah. Picture the scene in Game of Thrones where they light the harbor on fire. Like something like that. Like that would be fucking sick. You know, you're fighting a bunch of like Meros or Sahagwin or something like that. These aquatic creatures. You light the fucking bay on fire, so when they come up, they're on fire. You know, you try something like that's cool. You know, take tools like that.
As bad as you were describing that, I was just imagining slowly in the background smoke on the water just started playing.
Smoke on the
Bro.
Water.
We need to get that karaoke stream, guys. We need
Really
that.
do.
Good luck
Michael's
with
waiting.
that, Blue.
Yeah.
Well, is that it for the questions?
There's one more, but I feel like that's going to take up too much time, and also it's kind of lame. I feel like we already kind of talked about it earlier.
Just
What do you mean?
I know.
Just ask it.
What are
You
there
can't,
any
you can't
story
just say
tropes?
it and then not.
Any kind of story tropes you're a sucker for that you commonly see in sessions?
Love stories.
we have not spoken about that yet.
I mean, like earlier when we were like Lord of the Rings, like that's something that we kind of talked about. We kind of touched on.
Well, it's not like a trope.
It's common
think-
fantasy tropes.
I guess.
Orcs and goblins, bad
I
guy.
guess like the classic fantasy trope. Yeah.
That's literally
Um,
the only thing we talked about relating to the question.
Yeah.
Does anyone have anything to add for it?
I like romance.
Yeah.
Romance
like, yeah.
in D&D and Call of Cthulhu is actually really interesting. It's like a
It is
side
really
thing,
interesting,
which
if
is
it's
really
done
interesting.
well. Mhm. It's cute though too.
That's
To
real.
watch your characters like actually evolve and then be shipped together and then somehow that actually ends up working.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
We just never hear about the after stories.
Yeah, see, the thing is,
Yeah.
as a DM, I feel like a lot of the times, like I know for me, the reason I never really put focus on it in my campaigns is because I just feel awkward. You know? The reason why I feel
Yeah.
awkward is because I'm like, I have a girlfriend, don't talk to me like that. Like, I just feel weird.
I don't care.
I just feel weird.
Sure.
Also, when
Flirt
you
with your
talk to
friends.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm
Jonas-
saying is like, I feel like I shouldn't. We're all friends. I know things about you guys that
Yeah.
not even your parents know. Why do I care? Why do I care if
feel
you're like,
weird.
I don't care. But it's like, there's something in the back of my head that's like, this is weird.
I feel weird about it because, like, if it's like with like Noah, Evan, or Jonas, I'm like, this feels awkward as hell. If it's with Alyssa, that's fine because I do that anyway. So
That's true.
it's just it feels really awkward when I have a character who's trying to flirt with like Jonas, for example, because he's playing Tiberius. That entire scene, I wanted to off myself. I was like, I'm so uncomfortable. But I was like, this is what Evan would do, how she is. So I gotta do it.
At the end of
And I
the
was like,
day, they're just characters in a game.
Exactly,
well,
exactly.
yeah, but it's acting. It's acting. So it doesn't matter but also just like
Did you take drama class?
Who?
You.
Me? Fuck no.
That's why.
I don't like that stuff. Which is really funny why I'm playing D&D. But
I didn't take drama
I know.
either, so.
yeah, no.
I agree.
I
No, you continue.
Oh.
Continue. I almost cut you off. No, finish your thought. Your
I
turn.
forgot it.
Your turn.
I forgot it.
I agree with Evan.
Your turn.
I love romance in D&D. I fucking love it. I love seeing it.
Mhm.
And I think that's something I could do better as a DM. Because I don't think I need to as a player. It's just not something that, like, it's not super necessary for the story. But as a DM, I know if
Yeah.
other people like it. I should put some characters in there for that. You know, go for it. I don't care.
That one romanceable NPC.
I'm getting Tasha.
Good luck, brother.
Honestly, possible. Same with Morning Cannon. I don't. It doesn't say anything about them being married.
Fair.
No, you romance Tasha. We switch DMs.
Yeah, it's over.
I literally asked you that. I'm like, how the
But
fuck
babe,
does that
like-
work?
You said you were loving
God,
me
and-
yesterday. Also, why did your scales
Bro.
turn weird?
No.
And,
Why are you
and
talking
Amani
so
goes from
monotone
Morning
now?
No.
Why are you speaking so little to me?
I don't care.
Can be in some weird like trouble.
I have to go adventure now. No, babe, but there's such a complex thing between us.
Bye bye. Have a good time.
The lizard stare.
The lizards.
That's what I wanted. The NPC stare.
Oh, I'm staring.
Anyways, here's
We love love in D&D.
we love love in D&D, but you don't need it.
We do.
Okay, if you're uncomfortable with it, don't do it.
It's not at all necessary for
Yeah.
anything.
If
It's
you don't
not
feel-
necessary, but it's
fun.
like,
So
if it
base.
happens though, it's like, ooh.
So base.
It's really fun
Okay.
to watch.
It is,
Like-
yeah.
Like being in that, it feels kind of awkward. But watching with other people, that shit's fun as hell. Like
I don't know if there's a
Bleep
bleep
that
there or
out.
not. Yeah, I'm not sure if there was a bleep there or not. but-
Bleep that out.
oh yeah, definitely I forgot about that one.
Man, that's so weird that you bleeped that out.
What did you say?
They literally,
Elena?
they literally,
I don't know. I forgot.
all they
It's
said
not.
was Joe and
Why is there
Joe.
just a? Why is there a big sensor bar over your mouth now?
Anyways, I think the moral of the story that you should take home is have fun. Have fun. Talk to your
No.
players. See what they
No.
like. It's all about
Flirt with your
communications.
friends.
You
Uh,
Yeah,
flirt with
flirt
your
with your
Flirt
friends.
with your friends.
if you're comfortable with that kind of stuff.
Fight your friends.
There's another
Yeah.
F that you could do, but you don't have to. Anyways,
And
we'll
go
talk
on
to you guys.
epic adventures with your friends.
Yeah, that's definitely the other F that I was going to say. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Side Quest. You can tune in next Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to see another episode of the magnificent, illustrious, mysterious Vecna Eve of Ruin. We'll see you guys next week.
I